Hi, my name is Sam Green and this is the behind the scenes video for my short film Capture. If you haven't already seen the film, you can go onto this YouTube channel and it should be there. So if you haven't seen it, go do that now and then come back. So the shoot took place over 2 days. One day was in the bedroom and the other day was in the centre of Bristol. Both days went quite smoothly. Out of the two, probably the second day was the hardest because we were faced with problems because we couldn't quite figure out where the videos from 45 years ago were shot and replicate it exactly with our equipment. Me and my actor also got quite burnt because we didn't really wear sun cream and it was quite a hot day. So for day one, we were shooting in a bedroom. I went for this room because it had nice cladded roofs and it had Velux windows which had blackout blinds in them. So I had control over what light came into the room, which is quite good for what I wanted because I wanted it to be early morning and gradually get brighter as the morning progressed. So we used two cameras for the shoot. For the first day in the bedroom we used a Sony Z7, we went with the Z7 because of it's got a big aperture, so it works better in low light. I didn't really want to use a 50mm lens on a DSLR because it's quite hard to get moving objects in focus, and if you do get them in focus, they're only in focus for a few seconds. So I decided to go with the bigger camera, which handled low light situations a lot better. For the second day of shooting, we used a Canon DSLR. We used it on a Steadicam rig, this one here, and I wanted a Steadicam shot just because it looks a little bit more cinematic in my opinion, because the camera sort of flows and there's not really much shake. Depending on if you practice with a rig like this a lot, you can get good results. If you want to know more about Steadicam work, I've done other work with the gimbal stabilizer. They're all available on my website. You'll be able to tell which ones are using the stabilizer. You can also ask questions on that website. If you go to the contact, you can ask questions about how many weights are in the bottom, what's the cheapest one you can get, which is the best. I've worked with analog stabilizers for about 3 years now. So one of the problems with day one was that we were in a very confined room and it was high up, so all the heat went up into that room and it was boiling hot and we couldn't open any of the windows because that would let light in. So we were all just sort of baking. We used one camera for the whole of that shoot, so the way we made it work is we filmed everything around 3 times from a different angle, and then we put them all together in post to make it look as if there are multiple cameras. So there's the part where you see Owen, the actor, throw the paper off to the side and the camera switches between that throw and you see his arm throw it, and those were 2 different shots shot at completely different times, but we made them look like they were at the same time with careful editing. The problem we had was with the reel-to-reel projector and the digital projector. We wanted the effect that the video was coming from a reel-to-reel projector, but because we didn't actually have the old Bristol footage on film, it was a digital file, we had to make it look as if the projection was coming from the reel-to-reel instead of a modern day projector. Another problem we had is that there was a logo in the corner of the video which we tried to get rid of, but we wanted that sort of border that film has, the sort of broken border, and if we were to crop that out then it would get rid of that border, and we want to keep that. We did try and hide the logo with a shadow, but in the end result it doesn't really work. It's too far across, but if you're sat more across you'd be falling off the bed, so that's the best we could do, but that's only a minor problem. Another problem is when you see him turn around and the pictures are back on the wall. So we had to take the pictures down to do the projection, but we put them back up, not realizing that the camera would also see that in the background. So it's just a tiny little error that we made, which we couldn't really do anything about, but we still put it in. It's just, you probably wouldn't have noticed it if I didn't point it out. On day 2, there was quite a problem because we didn't actually really know where the footage was shot. So we had to walk. We knew the general locations, but we didn't know the exact point that the video was shot. So that was a bit of a challenge. There was a lot of walking around and holding up our phones to see if we could try and match footage from 45 years ago with the footage that we were shooting that day. Some of them turned out better than others. Some of them were a little bit harder to get because the trees have grown and there were cars in the way, so a lot of the shots that we did have we couldn't actually get, so they didn't actually make it into the final cut. So the days that we shot were actually 2 weeks apart, so the way we made it look like it was shot on the same day is we made sure that we had photos of our actor wearing that outfit, so then in 2 weeks time we could remember what he was wearing, and then when we came to film in town, he was wearing everything was pretty much the same as it was. We'll end it here. If you want to see more of my work, you can go to my website, www.samgreens.weebly.com. There'll be a link in the description, or you're probably watching this video on my website. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next behind the scenes video.